what's up, YouTube? I was going to do water change Mondays, but I decided not to. And, I thought about why I made this channel, and I thought to myself, when I was first looking at tanks, I wish I would have known what I know now, but I don't. So that's why I'm making this video. Check out my contest. I'm just going to start off with that. Thank you for watching this video. Alright, let's talk about tank sizes. I don't feel like people really talk about different tank sizes and what they're good for and what they're not good for. And, I wish someone would have told me a while back ago about tank sizes, because it would have been a lot helpful to know a lot of things. As you guys know, I've had several tanks from 2.5 gallon to 80. It's an 80 gallon. So, that's the biggest I've had. So, I'm going to talk about what you can buy at your store, just a common store. I'm not going to talk about bow fronts. I'm not talking about hexagons. I'm not going to talk about any of those tanks. I'm going to talk about if you go into Petco or PetSmart, what you'll find and what it's good for. Start off with your 2.5 gallons. Tiny little square, about yay big. A beta. That's about the extent of it. Cherry shrimp. That's about it. If you're into breeding, really good for breeding. Then you got the 5 gallon, a little bit bigger. Not much. Not really a whole lot much bigger. Same thing. Beta, cherry shrimp. Not a whole lot of things you can do with those little tiny tanks. You can plant it. Definitely have aquarium plants in it. I don't know if you could do saltwater. I don't know a lot about saltwater, but I'll mention saltwater in there because I know a little bit about saltwater from other people and from learning. So, where am I at? 5? 10 gallon. Oh man, people get suckered in those 10-gallon kits. That's all I can say is, I was lucky and I did not start off with a 10-gallon. 10 gallons are good for guppies, they're good for shrimp, they're good for betas, and they're easy. They're small little tanks, so they're not too bad. 20 high. That's where I started off with. I was going to originally buy one of those 10-gallon kits, and I actually went to a local pet store, support the locals. And he told me, don't go with a 10-gallon. You won't have as many fish as you'd want. Go with a 20 or 29. And I'm glad I started off with a 20 high. 20 highs are good for definitely breeding. If you're going to breed certain types of fish, they're really good. You can plant them. And I don't know about saltwater. I've seen people use them for saltwater, but I've seen 29s. 29s are more common for saltwater. So 20 gallons are definitely good. 20 long. Boom. That is where the planted people come in. 20 longs are very good for planted tanks. They're very good for schooling type fish because it's a little bit longer, so that you could definitely do more schooling of fish. So, schooling of fish is basically 5 or 6 little fish that like to swim and everything, and it's a lot longer. So 20 long is definitely for planted tanks because it's not as tall and it definitely gives you more room. 29. 29 is also very good for breeding fish. You can breed 2 fish. If you're into angelfish breeding, you can put a divider down the middle and you got 2 15s. Works really good. They're a little bit bigger long-wise, I think, than a 20 gallon. So 29 definitely works for planted tanks also. I'm trying to think. I've seen 29s used as saltwater. So that's a big perk, I would say, if you're into saltwater. Alrighty, 40 breeder. I feel like 40 breeder is definitely one of those tanks that I would recommend. If I would have known about it, I would have definitely gone with 40 breeders over 55. They are shorter. They're also a little bit longer. You can definitely use them for planted tanks. Definitely for planted tanks. Definitely saltwater. If you're not trying to get big old fish, it's definitely one of those community tank type things that you would use. A lot of people definitely use 40 breeders, and obviously you can use them for breeding. 55 gallon, standard 55. Everybody has a 55. The downside to a 55, it's not as deep. It's not that deep. It's 12 inches, I want to say, and that's the downside to it. It is a good tank. You could definitely plant them. You could definitely have schooling fish because it is 4 foot, so you could definitely have schooling fish. You can also have bigger fish too. So that's the upside to 55. And it's a common tank, so 55, you'll find a lot of stuff for 55s. And then my favorite, 75. 75 gallon is my personal favorite. It's deeper. it's the same measurements as a 55 long ways. So you could definitely do more planted stuff. You could do saltwater stuff. 75 just seems a lot better, just my personal opinion. 55, it's harder to find cool, intricate designs of driftwood. For 75 you can. It's a lot easier. And then when you go to the next size up, which I don't know if Petco or PetSmart carry this, is 125. And 125, you could definitely do whatever you want. Saltwater, planted, anything. You can breed fish in there, you can do whatever you want. So, I thought about it, and I just figured I'd go ahead and talk about tank sizes and what works for what. If you're going to get into breeding fish, I'm not sure what kind of fish, but Petco does $1 deals or whatever, so you can get anything under a 55 for $1 a piece. So that's a huge plus. Angelfish, guppies, you can do 20 gallons. 10 gallons work really well too. Find them for free occasionally on Craigslist or stuff like that. If you want, this is my opinion, if you just want one tank and you want it to be sexy and beautiful and awesome, I would definitely recommend a 75 or 55, just one tank. I mean, if you want to go big, 125, but 125 is a little bit big. So that's my opinion. If you want to have a community type thing and you have more than one fish, but you don't want something too major, I'd go 20 long. That way you can get schooling fish, or 40 breeder. So the smaller tanks are the bulls and stuff like that. They're for betas and things like that. So if you want planted tanks and you just want to grow plants and experiment, but you want to make it easy on yourself, I'd recommend 20 long or 40 breeder. But those are my opinions and those are my thoughts. You guys can go ahead and comment below. Like I said, I didn't talk about bow fronts. I didn't talk about hexagon tanks. I mean, personally, my favorite's the 72 bow front or the 90, 95 or 96, whatever. Bow front, gorgeous tanks, gorgeous tanks. So if I could ever afford one or find one cheap, I would definitely pick one of those up. So, but that's my opinion, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and comment. Like I said, depends on what you're looking for. I wish someone would have told me this stuff long time ago. I would have just saved up my money and went with the 55 versus the 20 right off the bat, or went with the 29 instead of the 20. So, they have a 20 kit. They have a 10 kit, and I don't know if they have a 29 gallon kit, but I wish I would have just saved up my money and went with the 29 gallon kit. The kits kind of suck, I'll be honest with that. The filters are under-filtered, the heaters aren't really that great, the lights aren't that great, but, to start off with, they're good deals. Not always, but, I prefer the $1 a gallon type thing, but you can DIY a lot of stuff and make it a lot cheaper and a lot nicer that way, and focus more on making the tank better. So that's my personal opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, comment, rate, subscribe, like the video. I'm just kidding. Check out my contest I'm having. So hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.